What's up everybody and welcome to Rebel Ranks, where I rank things. Usually video game things. Usually levels. And for today I have a very special Halloween themed episode. And today I'll be taking a look at the worst levels in MediEvil, a game that at its best had amazing level design with great puzzle solving, and at its worst had terrible platforming with horrendous camera control. And because MediEvil on the PS4 has both the remake and the original, I'll be considering both when ranking the levels. And I won't be including Dan's Crypt or Zarok's Lair because that's literally just an introduction tutorial and a 3-phase boss battle in a circle. And they're not great. So that leaves 20. 10 here, 10 in the best levels video, and I'll be starting at 11 and working down to number 20 for suspense. Number 11, Cemetery Hill, the second main level. Now this is a decent level, albeit kind of short. A bottom area with enemies, big boulders blocking your path, a large hill with gargoyles puking up boulders that roll down the hill. Just progress up the hill to beat the stage. However, on the left side of the hill, you can drop down and open a chest for a club. You can then smash boulders and get under the hill. Light a fire with the club here and you can get the chalice as well as the witch's talisman needed for 2 later stages. Besides that, that's it. The enemies are the same enemies found in the first level, with a few of the headless zombies more common in the Return to the Graveyard stage. Making your way up the hill is unique, but it isn't anything special. Overall, Cemetery Hill is just too short to be enjoyable. There's nothing special or unique here, as the graveyard theme is basically copied and pasted for about 4 different levels. But still, that's not as bad as just copying a part of the level itself. Speaking of which, number 12, Return to the Graveyard. One of the earlier stages and the first section of this level is literally the latter half of the graveyard level. The color palette is slightly different and there's more water, which leads to a secret area, but it's just money, so who cares? Also, I kept dying because why is this trying to be a platformer? Well, you make your way to a large gate you passed in the graveyard level and head out to fight some wolves. You push some blocks to form a bridge, or not, and then fight the graveyard guardians, 2 giant wolves that phase in and out of... yeah. Return to the Graveyard is just an okay level. There are new enemies with the wolves that are unique to this level, and there's the headless zombies, but besides that, it's the 3rd graveyard level in a row. Just try something new. Number 13, the time device. Okay, I know I said something new, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have to make sense. In Zarok's Lair is a time device, and I guess Zarok has a castle or house in this random time era. It's confusing as hell. Anyways, the villains here are Zarok's troops from the village level, and they aren't bad. There is some attempts at platforming, not great. There's some floating clocks and a clock-related puzzle, and the level still tries to be dark and ominous, and it works, but it doesn't make sense. There's a train you ride, and that's... cool. Yeah, I know this level makes more sense with the setting of MediEvil 2, but I don't understand why this level had to feel as random as it did. I'm sorry, but I'll need more to go off of than there was a time machine and a strange train. Number 14, the lake, one of the 2 stages that's almost exclusively super narrow pathways. The boatman takes you from a flooded battlefield and drops you off here. Wooden pathways branch out above the lake, and 1 step off the pathway and you lose a health bottle. There are these turtle enemies, which are super unique, and an eyeball alarm system that calls them out. Being sure not to fall, there's some light puzzle solving with some rune stones, which causes the lake to freeze over. You can then hop down the center of the frozen lake and see a crazy elephant. I honestly have no idea why. The lake is an okay stage in the remake, but in the original, I basically have to walk the entire time because you just keep falling off of the bridge into the water. And that's not even platforming, that's just having to walk really slow. Number 15, Enchanted Earth. Now you could play this as the 5th level in the game, but without the shadow artifact from Sleeping Village, you won't be able to progress. And you'll get a decent amount through the level before you realize there's no way through. Besides that, this level is full of acid-spitting frogs and plants, none of which fill your chalice. You'll need to get the shadow artifact, take it, releasing demon spirits, and beat all of the new demon spirits that litter the level in order to fill up the chalice. On top of that, the stage features a boss battle. Use ranged attacks on these 2 demons without falling to your death, and you'll be given enough health to completely heal up. Also, there's a cauldron here that you can use to witch talisman on that will bring you to a secret level. The Enchanted Earth is an okay level at first, until you either realize that you can't beat it because you're missing an item, or you just can't beat it because of the huge difficulty spike in the enemies. And when playing this game for the first time, this is definitely a problem level. But then again, so is the next level on the list. Number 16, the Gallows Gauntlet. Now this stage is pretty unique, if not a little bit short. This stage brings new enemies with the impaled zombies and hanging zombies, as well as a couple giant mummies. Locked gates litter the path with no way through except an exit that doesn't beat the level, it just takes you back to the map. And a burning gate that is seemingly impassable. Well, you'll need the dragon armor to get through. And to get that, you need to fight the dragon boss in the crystal caves, and in order to initiate that fight with the dragon, you need the 2 dragon gems, one found at the end of the asylum, the other given by a witch for beating the pumpkin serpent and talking to the pumpkin witch after. And to do that, you need the witch talisman from Cemetery Hill. Assuming you did all of that, you'll get into a room with a chest that releases one of those spirit dragon things that attacks enemies for you. However, here it attacks you as well. I'm not sure what to do here except just avoid him as much as possible. Eventually he'll disappear, I think, and you can unlock all the little gates, get the chalice, and be on your way. Also, with the early exit, this is a great endgame level to replay for the health fountain. The Gallows Gauntlet does have some very unique enemies not found anywhere else in the game, but I have no idea how to explain how to survive the dragon thing. And getting through the fire gate might be a little too cryptic for first time players, but regardless, the level's just too short. Number 17, the Pumpkin Serpent, and somewhat of a continuation of the Pumpkin Gorge level, but it's just a boss. I mean, sure, there's a couple enemies here and there, usually where you need to destroy the pods to initiate the fight with the pumpkin boss, and all you do is attack the vines coming out of the ground before attacking the pumpkin himself. Now, this boss was made a little more challenging for the remake, requiring 3 stages to the fight, but it's not bad. Beating the pumpkin will move vines from a well, allowing you to get the chalice. Pretty cool, but nothing can save the fact that this level is essentially just a glorified boss battle and extension of a different level. It's not that I don't enjoy the Pumpkin Serpent, it's just that it's an extension of the amazing level before it. And when you think about this whole boss battle as a level itself, oh, it's not good. Number 18, Pools of the Dead. The level after the Enchanted Earth, and the level that more than likely made me say, F it, I'm using cheat codes. The stage would be okay, but it's essentially a big platforming challenge. However, instead of jumping and stuff, it's just trying to walk without falling to your death. And yes, it's a lot easier to navigate in the remake, but holy hell, in the original, it's almost guaranteed that if you even so much as look at your analog stick, you'll jerk it to the side and plummet to your untimely demise. And yes, walking might be more necessary in the lake level, but it's still challenging here. Also, I'm stupid and was trying to shield bash these guys into the water instead of using my hammer, but I'm just stupid, so that's user error. Besides that, the enemies are unique. The level theme is pretty unique, if not bland and boring, and having a version of Charon the Ferryman is an awesome nod to Greek mythology. Pools of the Ancient Dead is a unique level, and in the remake, it's not terrible. I did somehow miss an enemy on my first playthrough in the remake and couldn't get the chalice. And in the original, it's just a huge pain in the ass. Assbone. Number 19, Entrance Hall. Now, yes, I could have easily just said this is the worst level because it's so short. Like, why even rank this? I didn't rank Dan's Crypt or Zarok's Lair, but Dan's Crypt doesn't have enemies or a chalice, and Zarok's Lair is a 3-part boss battle in a circle. That's it. Entrance Hall, short as it is, has enemies and has a chalice. Yes, it's beatable in under a minute, but oh, what a minute. The only enemies here are the imps, who I'm not sure if because of their torches cannot grab your weapons, but it only seems like the imps down here can take your weapon. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And it would have been so easy to just say that this is the worst level. It's so short. There's like no theme. The imps suck. But there is a stage that even in the remake is bland, boring, and repetitive, but in the original is completely bereft of any colors besides brown and red. Every square inch looks exactly the same. The camera is completely broken and will have you staring at Dan's face for 3 minutes while you're holding L2 or R2 to try to get the camera to reposition around. Yes, the worst level in MediEvil has got to be number 20, Ant Caves. Yes, if we're going off of the remake, this stage would be a little higher up, possibly 14th place, who knows. But after playing the original, any spark of life that this level was given in the remake is completely gone, which is actually a testament to the remake for being able to add life to this reimagining of someone's small intestines in the first place. And yes, some other stages in the original have the same camera issues, but instead result in continuous death. At least those stages give you something to look at. So this stage is accessible through Enchanted Earth by using the Witch Talisman on the cauldron. The witch will shrink you down and you'll enter the level. Right away, you'll meet a fairy with a Cockney accent, and this this guy is the only good thing about this level. This guy is hilarious. Besides that, you run around caves that all look literally exactly the same, smushing ants. Much fun. And while yes, the camera will actually get behind Dan in the remake, and the cave walls look more than just poop texture. But in the original, it's poop walls and Dan running towards the camera for 6 minutes straight. And not even an adorable stubble-ridden fairy with an adorable Cockney accent could save this stage from being the worst stage in MediEvil.
Oi, nothing's quite as bad as a shitty camera. It's a shitty fucking camera. It's all for this one. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go get a drink at the bar.
That's all for this one. Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed for more amazing videos like the sequel to this video, the best levels in MediEvil. That's going to be way better because it's the best levels. This one I was being all negative and saying bad things. The next one's going to be great because I'm going to be saying good things. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything like that. And be sure to comment down below anything, really, please, whatever you want. I'll even take first. You'll probably be first, probably. And until next time, peace.